And before I begin, I will add one name poignant for tonight to the list of hostages that we should be praying for, Levi Salim Musa Marhabi, who has been a hostage of the Iranian-backed Houthis in Yemen since 2016. And the ASF and WJC and the Conference of Presidents have been working almost that entire time to try to secure his immediate freedom. And Judge Mushkan Kohanim-Lantzman, her sister, Eli Kohanim, was instrumental in getting the State Department to call for his immediate release. Thank you all for joining us this evening. We have many distinguished guests amongst us. At the risk of giving offense by omission, I would like to recognize just a couple. First off, the American Sephardi Federation's Vice Presidents Carol Basri and Raquel Laredo Benatar. Carolyn Herbst of the United Federation of Teachers. And the Honorable Judge Stephen Menashe, who serves on the U.S. Court of Appeals for the Second Circuit and is, please, and is a proud Iraqi and Ukrainian Jew. Remembering the forgotten Jewish refugees is part of the ASF's continuous year-long efforts to move beyond hashtags to history and to reject the prevailing narratives, whether idealized or demonized, about Jewish life in Arab and Islamic lands. Regardless of chance of birth, Jews have a shared heritage rooted in the Middle East. Along the trails from Alexandria to Aleppo, from Baghdad to Bamiyan, biblical prophets, medieval philosophers, scientists, singers, travelers, and traders forged the foundational ideas and ideals of Jewish civilization. They also helped pioneer our globalized cosmopolitan world. Contrary to what some organizations claim and some divisive and destructive curricula compel, we are not defined by anti-Semitism. Jewish peoplehood, philosophy, values, and vision are not reducible to a victimhood narrative. The beauty, depth, diversity, and vitality of the Jewish experience cannot be compressed, no matter how hard people try online, into a few talking points. Last year, I shared this ad from the New York Times. So there had been an invitation by the Ba'athist regime in Iraq inviting the Jews to return. And the ASF, to give you some sense of how long we've been dealing with this issue, bought an ad in response in the New York Times, invitation declined. This year, Sephardi serendipity struck again earlier today, so I can bring you something newly added to the archive, given to us by Hacham Mark Angel, which, as you can see, is typed and with extensive crossouts and additions. But there is a section that says, the Federation cooperated with the World Jewish Congress in its political and diplomatic steps and has sent protests to the United Nations in order to ameliorate the condition of Jews in Islamic countries. We dated this because it also refers to something next, right between 45 and 46, so before the rebirth of Israel. I'll conclude with what else this report says from 80 years ago. Hacham Ben Zion Meir-Hai Uziel, the Sephardic chief rabbi and first Sephardic chief rabbi of the land of Israel, said, the greatest and most important of your aims, addressing the Federation, is the one providing for taking a direct and active part in the Jewish Renaissance and cooperation with our Ashkenazic brethren in the realization of a Jewish commonwealth in Palestine. In this matter, especially, I send you my blessing and assure you that only through unity we will solve all our problems. So once again, as we have said before, Jewish unity remains the imperative of the hour, recognizing the totality of the Sephardi experience, not limiting it to victimhood, not limiting it to terrible things that happened. Sephardim are not victims, they are champions. And their history is the history of all Jews. And all Jews can learn from the Sephardic tradition. And that's what we're here to do tonight, specifically hearing from refugees as well as the next generation. Thank you.